Hi, this is Prashant. Currently, I am working as a Mysql database administrator. In last video, I have explained about the basic Linux commands. I hope that will be useful for all. In this video, I am going to explain about the MySQL and the MySQL architecture. MySQL is a structured query language. It is a open source one, so we can edit source code also. So first version was released on May 23, 1995. Latest one was released on 23rd July 2024, 9.0 version. MySQL is written in C and C++ language. It is support for Linux, Mac OS, Windows. It is freeware actually, so we can download easily and we can use it easily. Other thing like there are a lot of features are there for MySQL. Like it is a database management system, so we can store large amount of data in the MySQL database. Like all the data will be stored in the table format. Other thing like if we know the SQL query very well, then we can work on MySQL very easily. Features like lot of features are there in MySQL. First thing is like easy to use. Just we need to know the SQL, then we can use the MySQL very easily. Next one is it is open source, so we can easily download. It is secure. It is solid state security layer, so we can it is protected data very securely. Also, all the password, DB related password, username, that password is encrypted, so not able to find the password easily by the hackers or so. It is a client server architecture. Just we need to send a request from the client, then we can get the data from the server layer. You can do all the modification using this client server architecture. It's free to download, already I mentioned, so that is one of the feature. It is very scalable. Multi-threading is available in this MySQL, so performance will be faster. Next one is speed, high flexibility. Many operating system it is supported. Linux, Unix, all these operating system it was supported. Other thing is like it will allow for rollback. If you are doing any modification in the database, that rollback is possible. If you are doing with the transaction, then rollback is possible. Rollback commit and crash recovery also possible. So that is one of the feature. Then most efficiency, high performance, high productivity. High performance like we can configure a replication. We can store large amount of data in table format in MySQL database server, so we can replicate that data to other server. In other server we can configure backup also, so that is available. That is one of the feature. Others like partitioning, we can add a partitioning for table that will be improve the performance. So these are the main features of MySQL. Now I am going to explain about the MySQL architecture. As I mentioned, MySQL architecture is basically worked on client server architecture. So client will send a request to the server. From the server, the result will go to the client. There are three layers: client layer, server layer, and storage layer. This is the architecture diagram. In client layer, like these connectors will be there: JDBC, .NET, PHP, Python. Using these connectors, client will send a request to the server. So client layer is the topmost layer in the MySQL architecture. Client will execute the SQL query in the command prompt or GUI like Workbench. Once they executed the query, it will go to the connection handling. In connection handling part, once the client is connected to the server, that will create one thread. Using that thread, it will execute the queries. Next component like authentication. In authentication part, username and password of the user will be checked in this authentication part. which we are trying to execute the query. That username and password will be checked in the authentication part. If the username and password is correct, then it will go to the security part. In security part, it will check the grants, required grants is there or not for the user. That will be checked in the security. If the required grants is already there for that user, then it will go to the server layer. In server layer, like first it will go to the parser. What parser will do is it will check the syntax of the query which is executed by the client. If the syntax of the query is correct, then it will go to the query cache. In query cache, it will check that query result is there or not. If the query result is there in the query cache, then it will directly give the result to the client. So in query cache, for example, if I am executing one query, for example, if I am login to the MySQL, I can go. I am giving one wrong password. It is giving error. That means it was failed on the authentication. Now I am logging to the MySQL server. Here I am executing on wrong query. Then it is giving error. That means it was failed on this security, this parser. If I am giving the wrong SQL query, then it will fail on parser. First it was failed on authentication because I am giving the wrong credential. Like that it will work. Uh, I'm having few databases. I'm using the test databases. O table select from. I'm executing this query. Now all this result will be stored in the query cache. This query cache. If I am executing the query again, it will get the result from the query cache only. Query cache only. It will not go to the optimizer part. Like this, it will work. If I am doing MySQL restart, this data will be gone. So this is main use of the query cache. If the query result is not there in the query cache, then it will go to the optimizer. What optimizer will do is it contains the lot of execution plan. Optimizer contains the lot of execution plan for the select query which is executed by the client layer. From that one, it will choose one better execution plan. Then it will execute the queries from execute the code, get the result from the storage and give the result to the client. Other component like table metadata cache. This contains the structure of the tables. All the structure details will be there in the table metadata cache. In key cache component, this component contains the indexes, secondary indexes. Primary indexes is primary key. It will contain the second all the secondary index details. So like this MySQL architecture will work. This is the last layer in the MySQL architecture. Lot of storage engines are there. InnoDB. Main use of InnoDB is it will support for transaction. That is main advantage of this engine. So transaction means it will support for foreign key, rollback commit is possible. Then it is row level lock. MySam like it will not support for transaction, but it will better for big databases, non-transactional databases. You can use MySam. As soon as some of the engines also there, memory NDB. From 5.6 itself, default storage engine is InnoDB only. Let me explain one more time. architecture. When the client execute the query using these connectors in the terminal or MySQL workbench, that request will go to this connection handling first. Using this connection handling, it will create one own thread. Using that own thread only, the query is going to execute. So first it will go to the parser. Before that, it will go to the authentication and security part. In authentication part, it will check the username and password. If username and password is correct, then it will check the credential for that user. If the if your grant is already there, it will go to the parser where it will check the syntax of the query. If the syntax is correct, then it will go to the query cache. If the query result is already there in the query cache, then it will directly get the data from the query cache and view it to the client. If the query result is not there, then it will go to the optimizer. Optimizer contains a lot of execution plan. It will choose the better execution plan, then it will view the result. It will fetch a result from the storage engine and then it will view to the client. These two components, like it will store table metadata cache will contain the structure of all tables. Key cache will contain the secondary index details. Yeah, hope this is a detailed explanation. I think next video, like I will explain about the replications, backup restoration, installation, all the things I will explain in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel.